the dress code. Oh my god. We used to talk about dress code like back home, and it got to a point we would even say my dress, my choice. But my friend, my dress is not my choice until you come to this place. Let's head straight to the video.
You melt the ice behind my stone cold eyes. I turn to ashes, but only just sometimes. Inhale your smoke, but you still act surprised. It's not my fault when we end up capsized. You call me crazy now, but you don't understand. I'm calling out to you. Can you hear a thing? 'Cause you lit the match that ignites the flame. I'm the TNT, but you're the spark to blame. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain. Feel the fire, heat that melts us down again. Now it's pouring through my veins, but I said you're the spark to blame. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain.
Hey, what's up everybody? My good name is Wanjiru Mwangi and welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be looking at different things that I've personally experienced, and if I didn't experience, some of my friends have gone through them. And welcome back to a video that you're going to be seeing some of the culture shocks that personally I saw in Canada. So sit, relax and enjoy, and don't forget to leave a comment about what you think of this video and what you want to see next. So let's get into the video. Is the food. Oh my god, everybody, including you guys, I'm very sure it's so surprising. Like, the first thing you wanna see is what are these people eating, and can you get your local food in a foreign country? And guys, guess what? When I came the very first time, I was trying to look at my local food in this town and I couldn't get anything. But what I realized is so common in this town is most people do love fast food, or what we call back home junk food, and I feel it's so available. Like in every shopping center you will just get like fast food, totally junk food. I mean, like too much of wheat, too much of sugars, too much of kind of KFC, chicken, those kind of foods. Those are so many and so much, and that is the kind of staple food of everybody in this country, because people are busy and they don't have time to cook. So the only thing they do, you get hungry and the next minute you're in a snack shop taking out a snack. So that was my first culture shock. I expected to see some domas, waruza, mchele, ugali, and later on is when I realized where I can buy some of these things. But guys, that was my first culture. On to the next culture shock that I have some of the points in this my small notebook of mine, and these are some of the things I've written down. And the third thing that I felt was kind of shocking to me was the roads. Doesn't mean that we don't have roads back home, but most of the roads we have here, they're highly defined, and their infrastructure is like, wow, they've done a very good job with their infrastructure. Then another thing is, like, there are so many highways connecting from one city, province to the other, and that was kind of a good thing. To me, it was a culture shock. And still on the roads, there's this issue of, like, me as a pedestrian, I'm used to when I'm crossing the road, yes, there's a zebra crossing, but coming to a place where there's a zebra crossing and you have to follow traffic lights as a pedestrian. Like there is a part where for pedestrian you have to wait until somebody pops up for you to cross them. That was so shocking to me, because I'm used to a zebra crossing is maybe when you just wait for the vehicles to pass and then you can cross over. But here you have to wait until your lights are on as a pedestrian so that you can cross. So that was also another thing that I hadn't experienced like back home. Then another thing about the roads is there are some of the major roads that have this thing they call streetcar. It's kind of bus or two buses joined together, and then they've made like a rail, the train rail on the road, and the streetcar uses the railway line but on the road, if that makes sense. So that was also a new thing to me, and it was so shocking. And the streetcars, all of them, they're using electricity, so it was a good thing. And they are very convenient, like from connecting you to different streets of the town. It's so convenient, especially when you are in the busy town. So that was also another shocking part for me. Okay guys, then the other thing that was kind of surprising and interesting to see, because I had heard of it before, was the subway. When I was coming, I was looking forward to go and have a ride in the subway. Like the subway is the train that passes, most times the train stations are underground, like the ground level, and then they dig in tunnels underground. That is where you go and take the train. So I was looking forward to have a ride in the train in the subway, and for sure I did have not even one ride. Right now, like the subway is just so convenient, because when you don't have a car in a new country and you need to maneuver from point A to point B, the most convenient way is using a subway, because one, you don't have to be on the traffic lights for too long, because every few meters there are traffic lights, and the subway doesn't have traffic lights. The only thing it has to do is like stopping between stations to drop and pick up. So that was also a good thing. Then the other thing still on the roads that was kind of shocking is what we are used to, like back home. Every commercial vehicle that is used to move people from point A to point B has like we call them tout or conductor, and their main work in the car, in the bus or in the matatu, is to ask for like request for transport from people, give them change, like notify the driver that there's somebody who wants to get off the bus, notify the driver they need to carry people. Like that is their main job. So coming here and finding out that buses do not have those conductors, it is up to you as an individual to pay your transport. Like literally you have to tap on the machine so that you pay your fare. That was kind of shocking also to me. Then the other thing that was too shocking to me was how people are disciplined in terms of paying their transport. Like you just get into a bus, you wouldn't even realize people missing to pay the bus, and there's nobody to watch you. Like everybody will just get in the bus, tap, and have their own seats. So that was also kind of shocking, the discipline with people.
991, going to finish.
And last but not least on the roads, in the buses, this is unusual. Like in back home, the buses here, they're so quiet, like literally quiet. The norm of this country is everybody minds their own business, and in most cases when you get in the bus, you just like get your own seat, sit down, either your earphones or your headset, anything, just connect with your phone and it's you and your phone. Nobody cares what you're doing, nobody talks to any other person, like nobody gives a, like nothing. The driver is the only person who is controlling that bus, and the only thing you hear, like the sound, is the engine running. And for the electric buses, I'm telling you, the bus is so quiet, you don't hear anything. The only thing that gets to pop up and on and off is when people are requesting to get off, because there's nobody to tell you need to get off. So there are like buttons or a certain wire that is put in the bus. So your work is to just like pull it down, and it rings kind of bell to the driver, and they know that somebody is alighting in the next stop, and then they have to stop. So that was also shocking. And yeah, that is what some of these things we have to experience when we go to a different country. Then the next thing that was so shocking to me was the Google Maps. Oh my God. It's not like I'm bashing off my place, but I'm very sure if you come from where I come from, be rest assured some Google Maps will lead you to somebody's fence. If not somebody's fence, you'll drown in the river, because that's where the Google Map will be taking you. Anyway, talk of Google Maps. This is kind of the GPRS thing, and I realized the Google Map that people are using here and the GPRS thing is so accurate. Like, you just put in an address, there's no way you're gonna get lost. Either way, you have to, like, it will take you up to that point where you're supposed to go. So it's the accuracy of the Google Map. That was a good shocking thing. And the shocking part now about it for most newcomers is when you arrive and you still don't know how to figure it out, because this is not something we commonly use. So when you come here and you start like using the Google Map, you'll realize, you'll even like easily identify a newcomer, because somewhere just in the middle of town or somewhere, you'll just see somebody like moving around one place, and it's not like they know where they're going. They're just rotating around trying to figure out where the Google Map is directing them. Anyway, that is all about Google Maps. So almost last but not least is the weather. Oh my God. Talk of the weather. And back home we only have like two weathers. That is the hot and a little bit of the cold weather. And the cold weather mostly happens like once in a year, and that is commonly in July. And here, I'm lucky to have experienced almost all the, not even almost, actually I'm lucky to experience all the weathers that happen here within this duration up to now when we're shooting this video, because as I said, back home we only have two weathers, hot and 1 month cold season in July. So here when I came, the weather was too hot, like it was summer, And not only summer. Summer is now our hot weather. The summer that we have is too hot because you find the weather is going to an extreme of like 30 plus, and it's not hot in the air, it's even humid. You don't even feel the breath like you're breathing. Like it gets extreme hot. So the other thing after like during summer, the days and the nights changes because the nights are way long. Like you get nighttime will even approach around 9 p.m. up to 8:30 to around 9:30. That is when now darkness is starting to come. That is during summer. And then another thing about summer that was so shocking when we came was the dress code. Oh my god. We used to talk about dress code like back home, and it got to a point we would even say my dress, my choice. But my friend, my dress is not my choice until you come to this place, because I feel the summer here, people like literally walk naked. Because I feel back home in Mombasa, in the beaches, people are dressed well. Or typically, how people dress in Mombasa in the beach, that is the lifestyle here during summer on the streets. That is what I will define the dress code. So if you've been to Mombasa before, you've seen how people dress. That is a typical day of the streets of this country. Anyway, back to the weather. So that was summer, and the next weather that came after summer was fall. And fall is all about trees shedding off the leaves. Like this one, you see, it had started falling like during fall, but now we are about to start again. So during fall, the trees shed off leaves and the grass dries up. What else happened? Some rain, and it's rain that you don't. Personally, I feel that I would not even see the rain in the air, but when you're walking in that rain during fall, you get wet. But literally, you're not seeing that rain falling. I don't know if it's making sense, but that is what I experienced, and that is what I feel was shocking. How do I get wet? When I put my hand like this, I'm not seeing raindrops. I'm not seeing it, but by the end of the day my hand is wet. So from fall, during fall still, I feel like before the leaves fell down, it was so colorful to see leaves turning from this color to this color. Like you have red, pink, yellow, all those colors that will come up during fall. It was so beautiful, and hopefully I'll have some clips maybe to insert for you to see. Anyway, after fall we came in during winter, and it was so shocking that people used to ask me if every time you meet someone new and they're like, oh my god, are you a newcomer? Yes. Are you ready for winter? I'm like, how ready should I be ready? Oh, you're supposed to get ready because the winter is too bad. Since you're a newcomer, get ready well, have a lot of jackets, have a lot of thermal wear. Oh my god. Like they would make it look like it's a monster, like so cold. Because they would even say the weather goes to an extreme of -20, -30, -15. When the lowest I've experienced back home, I think is -15 or -16, 17. Between 13 to 17, that's the lowest I've been. Now coming to a place where you experience extreme cold to -20, that was so weird. But to be honest, because now winter is over, I experienced the -20. Because at some point during winter it was -19, and according to the maps and the weather, they would say it felt like -25. And I'm telling you, oh my god, you don't even want to experience that cold. Oh, I've mentioned it, and it's making me flash back to that day because it feels so fresh. It was so bad. But one thing I love about winter is how beautiful the place looks when it snows. Oh my god. Then the good thing about snow, when it's falling, it's not even cold. You can even walk outside like comfortably. Wait until the snow has fallen and it's the next day. Trust me, it's gonna be like hell, because it's gonna be cold, extremely cold. It's gonna be tough to walk outside, especially when you don't have the right wear in terms of shoes, your jackets. It's gonna be very hard for you outside. Then the other thing about winter is I realized people who are driving themselves, they have to change their tires. Everybody must have a summer tire and winter tires, meaning the winter tires have got big, like the spaces in between the tires, they have to be bigger enough to be able to hold the vehicle on the road, because it's so slippery, like falling down, it's like that. So that is winter. Another thing about winter is how much you have to like layer yourself in the body. Like at least you would have like 5 layers in yourself, especially for that day, like the -19. That is, you can have a vest, a nice t-shirt or a top, and then have a t-shirt, and then have a nice sweater, a main sweater, and then a jacket, and then the main jacket. Oh my god, it used to feel like the way they dress is not, that's just shadow. The weather will just force you to like dress up very well. And another thing I felt was kind of that during winter, especially when extreme weather, you won't even feel like the man, the woman, the grandmother, who is a daughter, who is a husband, everybody looks the winter jackets are black. Your leggings, your socks, and then on top of that you have to put in like the leg warmers. Oh god, it was so crazy. Like if you weigh like me and then you dress up, you look almost twice my size. Oh, it was bad. So right now it's like winter is now over. And we are now in spring. Oh, this is my first spring and I'm already loving it, because the trees that shed off all the leaves have started flourishing and They now have baby leaves, and some of them have even removed like some colorful flowers, and it's so beautiful. Then about something else about spring is that the grass, just few weeks after, actually like 2 weeks after winter, the grass everywhere, it's green, like totally green, and that is so beautiful. So in few weeks, in like a month or two to come, we're gonna go back to summer, and now the cycle continues. So my people, I think that is much of today. I have exhausted my points for this day, and I believe by the time I'm seeing you next, I'll have very, 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 very good and aligned more culture shocks of what I and some of my friends experienced, and I'll have to share with you guys. And until then, I want to meet you next time. Bye bye.